I spit Patron on this microphone. Watch out, I'm in the zone, worth for everything I own. Life is March Madness, one mistake, then you go. Yeah, I had a stroke, but your boy still rhyming. And Fresh got locked, but the squad still wildin'. Catch me in any city in the hood, we grinding.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros are comments made by Callum Smith. I see people getting real upset about the pronunciation of Callum Smith's name. Please understand, we respect Callum Smith. We watch his fights. We love him. Sometimes the mispronunciation is just natural. It's no disrespect. Callum Smith made some comments, and we're going to discuss them. This is an article on ESPN. It says Callum Smith, his comments are Canelo Alvarez is better at 160 than he is at 168. And we get to the quote. He says, in my opinion, no, he's not a super middleweight, Smith told ESPN. Yes, he's been there before, fought Kovalev. But if you look at the championships at super middleweight, they're all big lads. There's only so much size your ability can make up for. We saw it with Vasily Lomachenko against Teofimo Lopez. I believe that will be the case for Canelo against me. I will be too big for him, but I'm not just a big lump. I've got skills and ability too. I've shown I belong at a world level. If I can use the skills and ability, I've got the beating of Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. And then he went on to say, there were parts of the fight where he wasn't special and Kovalev was a bit lazy, which helped Canelo. And maybe that was his plan to get him late on. Smith said, Kovalev is a very good fighter, a tough fighter, but Canelo did what Canelo does and deserves respect for that win, but he didn't dominate every round against Kovalev, and there are positives to take from it for me. And it shows you have to respect his power stylistically. I'm different, and I believe I can do what it takes to beat Alvarez if I perform to the best of my ability. So basically, what Callum Smith is saying is he's better at 168. He's not special at 168. And if he saw flaws in his game against Kovalev, and if he does what he's supposed to do, he can take care of Canelo Alvarez. G, what are your thoughts on those comments?
I mean, I'm notorious for saying I see flaws in every fighter, right? But that same fighter always finds a way to win. So, hey, man, listen, Callum, am I saying his name right?
Callum.
Mr. Smith. How about that?
Just call him Mr. Smith.
I hear what you're saying. You are a tall dude. Most of the guys up top, the height and reach advantage that y'all have over Canelo is major. However, Canelo is an excellent counter fighter. If Canelo could get into the body and throw them hooks, you're going to be in trouble. So this is a great fight because I'm be honest, it's like a 50-50 for me. You know, like I want Canelo to win, but I understand the threat in this fight. And so you could pull it off. You actually could, Mr. Smith. But don't take Canelo lightly. You know what I mean? Just because you've seen Kovalev, you know, make a couple mistakes or you thought Canelo exposed himself during that fight doesn't mean you can do the very same thing, you know? So Kovalev was like the crusher for real. You know what I mean? I know he was a little older, but when you think of Kovalev, you're thinking about a guy that actually murdered a dude in the ring. You know, so Canelo had to move a particular way. I don't think Canelo's going to respect you that same way. And so, and I could be wrong, you know, but looking at Canelo's training, looking what he's been doing, I don't really think he's going to be as feared or, as fearful or as overly cautious you may be thinking. I think he's going to go in and bring the fight to you. And I think that's what he needs to do to actually win, to be honest. You're just too tall. Your reach is too crazy. Like, Canelo's what, 5'8", 5'9", or something against a guy that's 6'3"? He's going to have to get up, he's going to have to get up in your guts. Pause. You know what I mean? He's going to have to do that. So it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, if you could just maintain the distance, stiff jabs, just maintain the distance throughout the fight, you could win. But if you slack for 1 second and let Canelo get close and let them shots go, man, you're in trouble.
All right, dog Bill.
Talk that sass. Call him talk that sass. This is what I've been saying, man. This is why I've been high on him, you know, because I love to smoke, you know, because Callum Smith to me has been underrated for a long time. I was wondering why nobody was talking about him. I've been giving him his props for a long time. I've been giving him his just due for a long time. And you should be able to talk and feel that confident about yourself. Nobody can tell you how to feel about you, Callum. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you have the tools to win, then you got the tools to win. Listen, I'm picking Canelo, but I have nothing. Like G said, this is 50-50 for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I want Canelo to win, but I know the threat that Mr. Smith, you know, poses against a Canelo. Look, he's no bum. Everything that he says, you know, look, I got nothing but respect for Callum Smith. I think I've been saying that he's the number one super middleweight for the longest. I thought he was number one at 168. To me, he keeps proving. Out of all his brothers, it seems like he got the goods. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to all his other brothers too. They're good fighters. But it seems like he learned from his other brothers' mistakes. And I think that this is going to be a great fight. But I don't think he should underestimate the pound for pound star of the sport, and that's Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? And I think if Canelo Alvarez can pull up everything that Callum Smith proves, like if Canelo can beat a Callum Smith, it proves how great Canelo really is. Because Callum Smith is that dude. I'm trying to tell you, he's that dude. I've been screaming it for a long time. He's that dude, and he feels confident about himself. Nobody can tell you how to feel about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And he feels he's that number one guy, and he's winning out there, and he proved it. People always keep bringing up the Ryder fight. You know what I'm saying? Style makes fights. I thought that he inked it out. You know what I'm saying? I thought he had 8 rounds in there. You know, but people see fights differently. I think that he has always proved that he's a tough test. And then people talk about, oh, they're discrediting the George Groves. How are you gonna give this boy his just? Give this boy his just.
Yeah, I saw.
That's what happens, and I'm glad they did that. You know why? Because that's what happens when you're number one. That's what happens when you're number one. So, Callum Smith's the number one guy at 168. In my book, and Canelo is this is a big fight. This is a mega fight. I'm surprised that everybody is not talking about it with full excitement like how we are talking about it.
Ned,
man, speaking of that, like, hey, Colin, Canelo's a different animal. I don't know, man. Like, I know you feel like he's undersized and you're big and you have more skill, but he only lost to Floyd Mayweather, and this dude's been sharpening his skills throughout his career. So I just looked up because I forgot the press conference was today, and they just released it on YouTube. So I'm gonna watch this once we're done recording. So I don't know. I just want to see how these two are interacting right now, because this fight just came out of nowhere. Like, it's just, man. All I gotta say is this fight. It's two competitive fighters, and I really can't wait to see them box in the ring, because you don't know what to expect with a skilled size fighter like Callum Smith, and then you have a master tactician like Canelo stepping in there with him. You know, it might just be a lesson, a teachable moment for Callum Smith. Smith.
I think it's Callum. Cal.
Yeah.
All the love I done showed you on this channel, calling you Callum. No blame.
But yeah, I
just call him Champ. That's all.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't really see a real loser from this fight, but it's gonna be a good fight to watch.
You know what, man, and that's so dope. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Because like with Canelo, him taking this risk, I really don't see him as being a loser, man. Like, this is dope. This is really dope to me in my eyes, because that's how much I think Callum Smith is. That's how awesome I think Callum Smith is. You know what I'm saying? If Alvarez just competing against him, Even if he lose, I think it's still dope that he was willing to test himself. There's other champions that are not willing to risk, you know what I'm saying, their fame or risk their undefeated record or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, to challenge themselves and move up the weight. You know what I'm saying, like Triple G's and other people.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, I love it. Like, I like the fact that he's seeing these things because that's what you're supposed to do. You can't go in like, oh man, he's a perfect fighter and I see no path to victory. Then what? Then why are you taking the fight? Then why are you a fighter? That's what I like. Terrence Crawford was at the Earl Spence fight, and you could see him talking about things like Danny should have been doing, and he was like gesturing and saying, I like that. That's what I want to see. I want to see TC at Earl's fight like he ain't that bad. I could beat him. And that's what I want Earl. I want Earl at his fight. Like, you know what I see? I could, he couldn't do that to me. That's what boxing is about. That's what it's supposed to be. I would just remind Callum Smith of a few things. Every fighter has flaws. In the history of boxing, there is no such thing as the perfect fighter. See, the only difference is the greats make it very difficult for you to take advantage of their flaws. So noticing someone has a flaw is one thing, but being able to take advantage of it is another thing. Dominique Brazil knew Deontay Wilder only had a right hand. He knew that. Didn't stop him from laying flat on the floor. Even the great Tyson Fury knew in the first fight Wilder only had one hand. Still got knocked down by the right hand. Because when you know what you're doing and when you perfect something, it's very difficult. Like, these guys have something that brought them to this level. And so spotting a flaw is great, but can you exploit the flaw? I would say don't think it's going to be easy, because Canelo has gotten to this point for a reason. And I'm sure everyone has seen the same flaws that you saw, but they weren't able to exploit it. And likewise, on Callum Smith's side, Canelo probably sees a lot of flaws that he believes he's going to exploit. But remember, it's not going to be that easy. So, I always say this. Everyone could beat Floyd when they watch the tape. I would see these fighters in the build-up. Oh, my God. When watching Floyd, when I watch Floyd, I see like uncanny reflexes, timing, IQ, all types of stuff. But I don't know what these guys saw. It was just like everyone that was coming up was extremely confident they were going to beat him. He was easy. They would say how they're going to smash the shoulder roll, and I would just see Floyd like, it's different when you're in the ring with me. Okay, we'll see when you're in the ring with me. And then like one of my favorite like Floyd moments was when like Oscar was like, I'm going to make it a rough and tough fight. And Floyd was like, you make it a rough and tough fight. It's just, in the end, go ahead, bro. You got something?
It just piggybacking off of what you said, even with the Shane Mosley fight. Shane was able to hit Floyd, catch it with the big, but wasn't able to capitalize. You might see things in there, but with the Graces, you know what I'm saying? They're able to make adjustments, you know what I'm saying, on the fly. So that's what Canelo has been able to do. You might have seen these flaws against Kovalev, but he also made adjustments to be able to knock out a Kovalev. But go. I was just picking up.
And even to just add to that point, Ruiz found the shot against Anthony Joshua and couldn't find it again in the second fight, because what greats do is they adapt, they take things away, they learn. So you see those flaws and you get there during the fight, they may not be there. So just be mindful that, you see stuff, and I'm happy that Callum Smith is confident going in. He should be 7-inch height advantage. Even when Canelo Alvarez fought Kovalev was only 6 feet tall, listed at 6 feet tall. So Combs listed at 6'3", 7-inch height advantage. He's going to have the weight advantage. You have a lot of advantages. This fight comes down to, are you going to be able to take advantage of those attributes that you have over Canelo Alvarez, or is he going to somehow shift the fight into his favor? I look forward to finding out what happens. I have Canelo, but it wouldn't surprise me if Callum could pull out the upset. I'm gonna call you Mr. Smith because I don't want the pronunciation warriors in my comment section. Mr. Smith, good luck to you. May the best man win.
Please like and subscribe. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. And please check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
could have been flawless. Fly enough to make people's mouths drop jawless. How can 2 years be erased in 1 August? And you know I have my pride, so I had to get brolic. All in all, I can't call it. Just know you're my queen. Wish I was denim, cause then I be in your jeans. Can't fight fate, and you've been loving me since your teens. But when you can't move forward, you gotta wipe your slate clean.